So, hi everyone, this is another Learn English with Football show. And as always, I've got fantastic guests here with me, the regulars, so to speak. Leontes. Hi Leontes, how are you today?
Hello.
Are we the ones that you drag in when no one replies to you?
No, that's not how it works. You're the ones that I invite first because you enjoy coming back. That means you have got you've got a better position, obviously.
Yeah. We always say yes.
Yeah,
we have nothing better to do.
That's who you want to work with ultimately. That's who you want to keep inviting because it's less hassle for you. Also, apart from that, you guys are fantastic experts and pundits, Leontes and his YouTube channel, Mr. Henriquez. Check it out.
Do you teach English on your channel, Leontes?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do.
I'll have to have a look. I speak English, but it'll be good to look.
Okay, Paul, obviously, this is your YouTube channel.
I haven't made a video for a long time.
But the videos that you've made are really, really good. Those that people can find on the channel. And they're football related.
Yeah, they're all football related.
Yep, which is cool. So, guys, how is it going? Paul, how are you?
Me, I'm good. I said I'm doing dry January, so I don't know if I feel good. I feel different. It's like there's nothing to look forward to. And when it comes to Friday or Saturday, I like to just not drink much, but just take the edge off a little bit. And that's gone at the moment. So I don't know what to look forward to now. Liverpool are frustrating me a little bit. That the Premier League's finished, it looks like now. I know last time I said we still had a chance.
Yeah.
We still have a chance, but it's a very slim chance at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Leontes? How are you feeling?
Well, I'm fine actually. A bit busy with work. New semester is starting in a few weeks, and I'm designing my own course on computer-assisted language learning for the second-year students. So that takes some work, but most of all, it's fine. I do look forward to the Premier League. Even though it's we're never going to win, it's still fun to watch. Even though they do stupid things sometimes, it's still fun to sit down and kind of be part of the Manchester United experience.
Yeah, I think it's maybe the best league at the moment because the fans are in the stadiums. I tried to watch Serie A and La Liga. Well, I watched the Supercopa over the weekend. Was it called the Supercopa? The Spanish, they had like a semi-final and final.
Yeah.
Was it the Supercopa? And it was in Saudi Arabia, so there was a different atmosphere in the stadium. But yeah, trying to watch Serie A and Ligue 1. I watched Marseille versus Lille. I think the Marseille fans must be banned from the stadium at the moment. So it wasn't the same. When you watch the Premier League, you know you're going to get some action and a full house, a sold-out stadium. Yeah. Zenek.
Yeah. I'm okay, thanks. Thanks for
How
asking.
are you? Yes.
I'm okay. I'm all right. Yeah. I can relate to your experience, Paul. There's not much to look forward to these days. However, this is one of the few things I look forward to, talking to you guys, talking about football and watching Premier League. I agree that it's less exciting now that City seem to be just on a different level. There's a massive gap now, massive, rift.
All of a sudden, it's opened up, hasn't it? It's opened
it's too
up.
much.
It's
too much.
A couple of draws for Liverpool. Chelsea dropping points. Chelsea were ahead by 5 points, maybe 6 or 7 games ago, maybe.
Yeah.
And now they're 13 points behind.
It seems like it's over, but let's talk about the matches we have seen first.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Okay, so let me kick this off. I personally saw the City-Chelsea match, then West Ham United Leeds, and then also Aston Villa Manchester United. And here comes Nrup.
Hello, Nrup.
Hello.
Hey, Nrup.
Hi there.
Recovering from COVID. Are you feeling better, mate?
Yeah, I'm feeling better. Luckily I didn't have any respiratory problem. It was just headache and some fever, but it just lasted for a couple of days. Yeah.
Good. Glad to hear that. So I'm asking my guests what matches they have seen. So Paul, you're next.
In the Premier League, I've watched same as you, except I didn't watch Aston Villa Leeds. I had both of them on, actually. I watched Liverpool, Brentford, and Aston Villa Leeds at the same time.
You mean West Ham United Leeds? West Ham United.
Yeah, sorry, West Ham United Leeds, and then Liverpool, Brentford at the same time. They were the only matches I watched Brighton, Crystal Palace on the Friday night as well.
Leontes?
Well, I watched Manchester United, of course, Aston Villa, Manchester United, and about an hour or two ago, I watched the highlights of Norwich City, Everton, Liverpool, Brentford, and Manchester City against Chelsea, and West Ham against Leeds. So I'm well prepared today.
You did your homework. Fantastic.
I did my homework. Yeah.
Glad to hear that. What about you, Nrup?
I actually watched 27 minutes of Arsenal versus Liverpool until some crazy incident happened, and then that's it. I think
what happened.
That was it.
Are you talking about the League Cup?
Yeah, the League Cup.
Yeah, that was the Thursday night, wasn't it?
What happened? Watched the Premier League. It was the red card incident.
You turned it off. Did you stop watching?
We wouldn't talk
I
about
just
it.
stopped.
Now
it just took a toll on me. I'm like, no, this is it. I just gave up and I legit went to sleep. And in the morning I wake up and I was shocked.
Arsenal performance in the last 3 years, according to the fans. The fans were so happy.
Yeah, but
with this performance.
Yeah, I know. But
so you never watched it?
No, I did not. I just watched until Xhaka got the red card, and then I immediately rage quitted.
Yeah, he also sent me a message when it happened, and I kept watching and kept hoping that we would clinch a draw, which we did.
Why did he
in
get
the end.
a red card?
Just for being Xhaka.
Oh, okay.
Like even if he was the last man and Jota was through on goal, but even if he wasn't the last man and Jota was through on goal, it still might have been a red card. He chopped him by his chest.
It was a silly one, to be honest with you.
But it saved the goal.
Yeah.
I think you never know, but I think he was likely to score.
So he took one for the team, basically.
In hindsight, it was a good decision. But at that point, I absolutely understand Nrup that he rage quit, because it was the 30th minute. With the record we have had with these top teams, especially one of them being Liverpool, it looked like it was over. So with the benefit of hindsight, it was a good decision. But now we don't have Xhaka. We had to postpone the North London derby and so on.
Anyway, that's okay for Arsenal, I think, because you took Nketiah off and then just kept like 10 men behind the ball. And then sometimes had counter-attacks. It worked out well. I think at the start of the match, you were pressing Liverpool. And I'm watching it thinking, oh, okay, come on, Arsenal, press Liverpool. Not many teams press Liverpool. It usually ends badly for teams. So, I was excited by the match, and then taking Nketiah off and then changing mentality. Spoiled the match in a way, but it was a really good performance by Arsenal. I think.
Let's talk about the Premier League, guys. So
okay.
He gave up and went to sleep. So that's what Nrup said. If you give up in this context, he stopped watching the game because he thought it was pointless. So he gave up and went to sleep. To give up is a phrasal verb. Okay. So Nrup, did you see any Premier League matches?
No, but I did watch. I mean, not the whole game, but I watched highlights of Aston Villa versus United. And West Ham versus Leeds United.
Okay, so obviously the North London derby, the one we were all looking forward to. Not sure if all, but at least me and Nrup, was postponed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? The thing is, I'm surprised how people were talking bad about Arsenal, like, oh, because they don't have a strong squad, especially who was it? Who was it speaking? Was it? No, it wasn't Gallagher.
Carragher?
Carragher, sorry, it wasn't Carragher. It
Yeah.
was who was it? Was it Carragher
Gary
who was
Neville?
speaking bad?
No,
I think it was Gary Neville. He's the one who speaks a lot about Arsenal. I think it was him, and then he was speaking a lot about Arsenal. Like, it's a bad decision. So what if Arsenal is having a weak team? As long as there are no 15 COVID cases, it's all right, and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he wants you to focus more on other teams. But I think there was a random uproar due to this decision by Arsenal. But I think people should remember that we had a very, very similar, in fact, same situation at the beginning of the season, and I think it's a fair decision, especially Tottenham fans. I mean, you guys, now, the position that they are in.
I agree, it was a fair decision. However, I think it's getting a bit ridiculous. In my opinion, it's a farce. It's a farce now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's
So
Premier League's
was
fault.
it postponed because of corona infections?
Yeah, that's the issue, because there's only one player.
Two.
Odegaard.
There's one more, but his name hasn't been revealed yet.
I heard there's just one.
No, there's one more, but the name hasn't been revealed.
So we've got some players at the AFCON, and then there's Xhaka's red card. So that should not get postponed because of just one or two cases. It's just, in my opinion, as an Arsenal fan, I'm not very happy about this.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand when people complain, but at the same time, the problem is not Arsenal. The problem is the Premier League, in my opinion. What do you think, Paul?
I think it seems like every team has one little COVID holiday that they can use. It's like in fantasy football, it's like a little free hit chip, the COVID chip that they can play sometime in the season. Liverpool played theirs. Well, it wasn't in the league, it was in the EFL Cup. Teams have played theirs, and it was Arsenal's turn, really, to think I'm going to play my COVID chip.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't agree with it, really. Yeah.
I don't like it at all. I think it's getting out of control.
Yeah, I think just Premier League needs to create some sort of rule, because every team is basically following the rules. They are making decisions under the rules of Premier League football, but the rules are so vague, and like you can just manipulate with them often, so this is the problem.
Okay,
Yes.
Leontes, anything to add?
No, I think it's clear. I was thinking what our rules are here for the Eredivisie, but I don't know. But we play without people in the stadium. I know Ajax did something, and everybody was happy about that because it was a good example. But it ended up being Ten Hag having COVID. So it was very weird.
Yeah. The Bundesliga, Bayern Munich have been playing without a number of players recently.
I think it was 9. They had 9 COVID cases at one point, and yet they
still played.
Yeah. The problem is, like, once you allow one team to postpone their match, you create a precedent, and then you have to sort of let the other teams do the same thing. Yeah. I don't know. Let's talk about the games we have seen then. So Chelsea City. Who saw the game? Raise your hand again.
I saw the highlights. Does that count?
I saw Lukaku's highlights.
I'll let you off.
Lukaku played.
Yeah, I saw his highlights.
Like it was a person who had won a competition, and he was playing in his first ever match. It was awful. The first half, awful. Nothing stuck. Everything just bounced off him. Yeah, he was so bad. So bad.
I really like the Lukaku memes, right? Where everybody goes like, so what did you think of? Well, first of all, I want to congratulate Inter for winning. It makes no sense, but it's very funny.
I'm really sad we don't have a Chelsea fan here today. We were supposed to have one, but something went wrong and he's not here. So because I would have a lot of questions to ask about specifically Lukaku. So Paul says Lukaku was awful. Everything just bounced off him. Yeah. So basically that means it's something. The ball bounces, right? It kind of it falls to the ground and goes back up. And if it bounces off you, that's a negative thing, because as a football player, you are supposed to keep the ball under control. Yeah, you're supposed to control the ball. And if it bounces off you, it's like you're not able to control the ball, basically. So
for a number 9 especially.
For a number 9, yeah, it's a tragedy. And did any of you hear the post-match interview that Thomas Tuchel gave?
No.
Yeah.
I did hear about what his opinion was regarding Arsenal's permission that they got, but yeah, and also Lukaku's statements on Lukaku as well. But yeah, apart from that, no.
Yeah, he wasn't happy.
Paul, you heard it?
Yeah, he just pointed it out. He said it's not good enough, especially Lukaku's first half performance, similar to what I said. He couldn't control the ball. He played like an amateur, like someone who hadn't played football before.
The interviewer asked him whether he thinks that Lukaku didn't have enough service.
Oh, really?
And this was the original question. And then he turned it into criticism of Lukaku. He said, yeah, but it's also him, because he should be the one creating the service for himself, or something like that. So I just wonder, obviously we know what happened with Lukaku. There was a problem. Now it seems to have been resolved, but do you think it has been resolved, Leontes? Because now that we hear this, like the way Tuchel talks about him.
No, I don't think so. I think he definitely keeps this grudge against Lukaku. But I was thinking about Lukaku at United, and he wasn't as great. But I think everybody is great outside United, and then they got into United, like Alexis Sanchez, Ronaldo, for crying out loud, and I think Lukaku as well. So I don't know. Maybe something at our club destroys people's passion for football. Yeah,
I like this expression, Ronaldo, for crying out loud. So that's less common. I think people might know Ronaldo for God's sake, or for Christ's sake, or for even fuck's sake. Yeah, for fuck's sake. But there is also this one for crying out loud, which is obviously more polite. That's like saying that just shows I think it shows your frustration with the player. I'll get to him in a bit as well.
Yeah.
But Lukaku is not.
So yeah, I think Lukaku is the same. Yeah. I think he came back to Chelsea. Was he any good at Inter?
He was amazing at Inter.
Yeah.
Yeah, top goal scorer. They won the league. Yeah, he was amazing. But I think maybe the Italian game suited him. Yeah, he was good at Everton. He was very good at Everton, and then he went to Manchester United after that, and was okay. But Solskjaer wanted more mobile strikers. I think the problems that Tuchel is having with him now, it's just his body language as well on the pitch. He just wants people to cross it to him all the time. And if people don't cross it, he gets frustrated, and you see his body language. And Chelsea don't play like that. I was a little bit disappointed with Chelsea against City, but they've had injuries. They've had midweek matches against Spurs. Yeah, I think they look tired. But they play quite sideways, Chelsea. I think they have the two fullbacks high and wide, and they go like across and back, and it frustrates Lukaku. And that was what his comments were. They're not feeding him. They're not giving him much enough service, or not crossing to him.
And I think Manchester City was in charge. From what I've seen in the highlights, it was Manchester City and someone else.
Yeah, of the match versus Chelsea. Yeah, they were the better team. I was disappointed with Chelsea.
Yeah, me too. The thing is, like, Tuchel didn't look like he thought that they had been so much worse. He said even that they deserved a point in the post-match interview. But when you look at the stats, Chelsea had only 1 shot on target and 2 shots off target, whereas City had 5 shots on target and 5 shots off target. They had more possession. I don't know how he can even say that. Like, yeah, there were some, let's say, some points or some periods in the game that Chelsea looked like they were trying. Yeah, I will give them that. But City deserved to win. I'm sorry, Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah, Chelsea just conceded the territory and the possession to City, and they were happy to sit back and defend, which was disappointing, really, because Chelsea are a better team than that. And that's why you say Manchester City had more attempts at goal, because Chelsea were just sitting back. And when they did try to counter-attack, it was Lukaku. Not being able to.
Didn't do enough. Absolutely. Yeah. You said Solskjaer wanted more mobile strikers, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about Lukaku, and basically what you were suggesting by that is that Lukaku is not a mobile striker, right?
Yeah.
So a mobile striker has nothing to do with mobile phones, ladies and gentlemen. It means a striker moves around. He's more agile, let's say. Moves. You know? Lukaku is more. How could we describe him? Like a
finisher, maybe.
Finisher, yeah. Like a
target
the word. That's a guy that just does tap-ins. There's a word for it. Poacher, like a poacher.
Yeah. He just stays between the goal, doesn't he? He stays in front of the goal.
Doesn't move around so much, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. More like immobile.
Yeah.
Immobile, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the City play without a striker, so they're always going to have more possession than teams. It's
they're just ridiculously good. Like
they didn't play with Diaz, did they? I think Chelsea had an opportunity. They're good. They're just a little bit better than other teams, aren't they? At the moment, they're better in every match than other teams.
Exactly. Now, there was something, I listened to a podcast earlier today, and I can't remember the name of the podcast, but they said it was supposed to be a 3-horse race, but it turned into a procession. Just like this. So, why are City so good, Nrup? Just give me one reason why are City so good.
Pep Guardiola. That's it. One reason.
Professional cheats.
No. We don't dive. They don't dive.
Oh, they do.
Not as much as
against Arsenal last week. What are you talking about?
I mean, look at the amount of divers City has got versus the Liverpool attacking, and Bruno Fernandes and Lacazette.
Okay, you're trying to offend like 5 people in one sentence. So be careful. Be careful what.
I mean, City, they have been playing really good football, so you have to appreciate that. They don't do any cheating, and it's the referees. It's the referees. Yeah, they have some controversial decisions, but I think the players, they're playing really well. Good football.
Yeah, the professional winners. I think they win at all costs. Against Arsenal when they were not playing well, they managed to win. They do things to win. They are professional winners, and that comes from the manager. I think he's so competitive. Every minute detail is analysed, and just to be on top in the game and to kill the opponents in some way. It's a real domination in every area,
and everyone is on board with it as well. You know, every single player just accepts this. Whereas you have some other teams. I don't have to go very far, Leontes, but when a manager who has a similar approach, we can even mention Everton, you know, like a manager that is very demanding. I think Rafa Benitez is that type of manager. but some players just don't take very kindly to it, do they? They just don't like it.
Well, would you say that, because you mentioned a very good coach, and of course Guardiola is a very good coach, but we had, again, Louis van Gaal, excellent coach, excellent career, excellent technician on the field. Jose Mourinho, excellent coach. He's not very nice, but he's an excellent coach. Unless he starts defending, then it's not excellent anymore. Okay, Solskjaer. And now Ralf Rangnick, a bit near. But I mean, do you think it's what you said, Zenek, that you need to have the backup of everybody, and both Van Gaal and Mourinho didn't have the backup? Would you say that's the case?
I agree with Nrup. It's the manager, but it's also everybody knows who he is, and everybody knows like he has like 100% respect in football, and I just think some players, even Manchester United players, would just do more under a manager like that, of that stature. And he wouldn't talk back to them, like Lukaku wouldn't do what Lukaku is doing in Chelsea. Ronaldo, there are different kind of problems there. We will talk about it if we get to it. But maybe Pogba or others. I just feel like he can get the best out of his players, partly due to his stature and due to his just reputation, and because he's so creative as a manager as well. He's an innovative manager, isn't he? He's like, it's crazy, like what he can do.
Yeah, so some things like not playing without a striker.
Yeah, it's like
They don't have
who
a
would do?
Yeah.
Well, not only that, I mean, I think it last season, or no, the season where Liverpool won. He was playing with two defensive midfielders as their centre backs. They didn't have they had Fernandinho and they were playing Fernandinho, and I think probably Stones or one defensive.
Laporte was injured. They had the Laporte injured that season.
So yeah,
he invented
that season.
The way the fullbacks play, that was him as well. Now with the fullbacks squeezing into midfield,
and the consistency, it's like it's relentless. Like they just keep winning, whereas other teams, they just slip all the time. It's for them, it's so uncharacteristic when that happens to them. It's just it barely happens. Like it hardly ever happens, does it? All right, so let's talk about Manchester United. So I watched the game. I actually kind of didn't see the first 30 minutes of it, though.
I didn't see the last.
I saw the first goal. It was a mistake.
So the first question I need to ask Leontes, who is obviously a Manchester United fan, is because I didn't do enough research to find out why didn't Ronaldo play?
Because he had a minor hip injury in training, and because he was given rest for the cup game, and then he got a minor injury, and he was also given rest for this game. And I think Rangnick made a good choice not to play Ronaldo.
Okay. Yeah. He had a minor hip injury. So hip is obviously like at the side of your body. Kind of like where your waist is, but at the side. Yeah, you all have two hips. So a hip injury and a minor hip injury. Minor means not very serious. Okay, so you think it was a good decision? Yeah. I noticed that Bruno Fernandes really looked liberated. He looked like his old self from last year when he arguably the best player of the league last year. He was like amazing. So, Nrup, do you think that Bruno Fernandes is suffering because of Ronaldo being in the team?
I mean, it's not. I don't think he's suffering, but definitely he's not able to give his 100%. Because I mean, I think he's loving. I think for him it's a pleasure to play alongside his own countrymen, and that to Ronaldo. But yeah, he's unable to give his 100%, and I think for him, he's able to sacrifice that for his teammate. It's like a fan. Anything for
Yeah.
Cristiano.
Yeah. But is it actually the best thing for United, Paul?
No.
Paul?
Ronaldo not in the team.
I think having both Bruno Fernandes and Ronaldo.
Yeah, I think they look for each other. I think he tries to assist Ronaldo. His role changes slightly, but yeah, I think both of them in the team makes.
Aren't you killing his talent? He scored 2 brilliant goals, didn't he? Leontes, especially the second one, that was world class, off the bar. It was such a nice goal, such a beautiful goal. So,
yeah. Well, I don't know. I think it really depends on what you want to do. If you look at Ronaldo and Fernandes together, he had some good assists in the build-up towards Ronaldo goals. So that's excellent. And then the combination definitely works. But in this game, he kind of took the lead again.
Did he play as this number, as the furthest forward, Fernandes?
No, I think we had Cavani there as well.
Okay,
yeah. And I think that works as well. But it's just they have excellent players. Even Donny van de not Donny van de Beek. I don't know what Donny van de Beek is doing. He was excellent at Ajax, and now he doesn't have rhythm. Why would they put him on for 5 minutes? Makes no sense. Let him start for once in his life. But then I think the midfield is fine, but they just put the wrong people he puts the wrong people in the wrong places. And Solskjaer did that all the time. Wrong people, wrong places. Fred is good, but give Jesse Lingard a try once, or give Lingard, Fernandes. Let's see what happens. 2 more attacking midfielders. Let's see what happens. What are we going to do when Pogba comes back? Right? Where are we going to put Pogba? And it could be amazing, right? Pogba, Cavani, Ronaldo.
Well, these are all big names.
What are we going to do with Martial? Yeah,
these are all big names. But I'm not sure that names always win the matches of football. Speaking of Pogba, I heard a rumor that I think it's not a rumor. I think it's official that he was offered a new contract, extension, and it's £500,000 a week, which would be the most of all players. Even Ronaldo doesn't have that. So
yeah,
why?
I think is it because you're afraid that he will leave
for free?
He will leave on for free.
Could be.
Because obviously, if you tie him down to a contract, then you can make money on his sale, right? On his future sale.
Yeah, I miss Pogba. I really miss Pogba. I think, and not only the person Pogba, but also the Pogba we saw at the beginning of Solskjaer's term, at the beginning of Mourinho's term. Excellent Paul Pogba, someone who really, Pogba in France.
When is he coming back? He's injured, right? When is he coming back?
Henriquez said 5 weeks. I think last week he said something about 5 weeks.
So 1 more month.
He's always injured.
Yeah.
That's been a long lasting injury.
I'd sell him. I'd cash in. If anyone would want him, I don't know who would want him. Maybe a team in Serie A.
Oh, he's back in training.
Oh.
Yeah, he was seen in training today.
Yeah, cool. Good for United, I think. Because you need something, anything at this point, really.
Yeah. So you mentioned all of those players. I think I'd cash in. Go on.
Yeah, that's a nice phrase. I'd cash in. So cash in. Also, it's a phrasal verb. Used with the preposition on, I believe. So to cash in on someone. So I would cash in on him, you could say as well. And it's just another way of saying I would sell him in order to make profit, I guess. And also I'd. Maybe some of you didn't hear it, but I'd. It's a contraction for I would. So I would cash in, or I'd cash in.
If I were the manager, I'd cash in.
That's a second conditional as well there. Oh, wow. All right. What else do I have here about United? Yeah. So turns out that Ronaldo during the week has criticized his teammates for not training enough, or at least that's what leaked. I don't know how leaked, but it did. So can you tell us more about this, or what do you think?
Well, I haven't seen that, but I've seen some cries to get to take away the captain's band from and the captainship from Maguire and give it to Ronaldo on Reddit. So some people on Reddit really want Ronaldo to be captain. See what happens. I think Maguire should just stop doing whatever he's doing. I'd cash in on Maguire, but it's like buying an expensive car. Once you leave the shop, it's like it loses its value. That's the same with Maguire.
Yeah, there's a lot of depreciation.
You're not his biggest fan, are you, Leontes? I remember last time you were on, you also talked about him in a negative sense.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just
He hasn't been playing, has he?
Sorry?
Let's go on. Sorry, he hasn't been playing. Did he play versus Aston Villa?
No, he had an injury, and it went quite well. I mean, Victor Lindelof makes mistakes, but he also corrects his mistakes, and he does good things. Maguire only makes mistakes, right? He does one good thing every season, maybe. One moment where we say, hey, there's Maguire, and he's slow. I know that people were criticizing Luke Shaw, I think in either Van Gaal's or Mourinho's term, that Luke Shaw was too fat. Well, I think we need to criticize Maguire for being too slow, because Shaw is an excellent player. Maguire is just either too fat and too slow, or just too slow. So
this is arguably a simple one, but I have a lot of students. I have heard it from a lot of students. Basically, you make a mistake, you don't do a mistake. That's the correct collocation. So Maguire only makes mistakes. Okay. Nrup.
Yeah.
You saw the highlights, didn't you, from
Yes,
this
I
match?
did.
Okay. So obviously the star of the day couldn't be anyone else but Philippe Coutinho.
Yeah, I would say yes. I mean, I've seen him at Barcelona. I wouldn't call him a star, but yeah, there is a hype. It's like how everyone was hyping Pogba and Bruno Fernandes on the first game versus Leeds. So I wouldn't really call Coutinho a star as well yet. But yeah, I mean, yeah, he was good, quite an impact, and yeah,
he made an
good
impact
for him. Yeah,
immediate
for
impact.
him.
He came on. Hang on, let me just. I have my notes here. So he came on the 68th minute. Then in the 77th minute, he made an assist, and then in the 82nd minute, he scored an equalizer. How much is that impact? Like, it's amazing.
It is. I mean, yeah, he's quite good, But let's see if he is Premier League proven or not, because he is quite injury prone.
We need to ask Paul, because obviously he's an ex-Liverpool player. So
he was unbelievable for Liverpool. Unbelievable, like the goals that he scored. Just the passes he can pick out, like a striker, like from any position. Just the way he moves the ball, just the way his control. People try to press him, he just walks past them. The turns, what he does when he's got his back to goal. His shots, he was unbelievable for Liverpool. I watched a video of his performance versus Manchester United in the UEFA Cup in 2016 today, where he scored a nice goal, where he chipped it over to Gea, and he dances through the midfield. He was unbelievable. He went to Barcelona, and I think players struggle at Barcelona. You've got Messi. Messi is the main man. The ball goes through Messi. Everything does. And Messi lends you the ball, really, as a player. He wants the ball back. So I think he struggled a little bit there. And then it was a huge price tag. Too much. really, and then he's gone on loan to Bayern Munich and he's done okay, but then he wasn't really in the team. I think a player like Coutinho, even for Aston Villa, I think may find it difficult to start, because in a 4-3-3, where do you play Coutinho? I don't think as in the three in midfield. He has to play maybe as on the left side of the front three, but he doesn't have the pace or the power needed for a 4-3-3 in that situation. I think he needs the ball to feet, and so I think, yeah, I think just the type of player that Coutinho is in a modern game and in a modern formation struggles to have an impact. Managers struggle to pick him, because where do you play him? Do you play him as one of the front three, or do you play him in midfield? But hopefully he can rediscover his form and do well from Aston Villa. I want Aston Villa to do well, yes, because of Jack. Yes.
Yeah, traditional Birmingham club. Come on.
Yeah,
they're not where they should be. I think they should be doing better. You said he was unbelievable for Liverpool, so we're still talking about Philippe Coutinho. So if you say a player is unbelievable,
yeah, he's incredible.
It doesn't mean that you don't believe that player. It means that player is really, really, really good. He's amazing. It's another way of saying he was amazing for Liverpool in this sense. Okay. And you also said that he had something like with his price tag. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Not gonna.
150 million, 160 million.
Oh, come on. With his
Has there
price.
been a more expensive player than him? Is he the most expensive player? No, Neymar, I think.
No, Mbappe.
Mbappe was more than that. Was he from Monaco?
Monaco, yeah.
Was he more than Neymar?
Yeah, it was more than Neymar.
I can't remember what you were saying, but you started the sentence like this.
Okay,
tag. So price tag, it's if you go to the shop, the items you buy there have a price tag. Yeah, it's like a little label where the price is written, and this is like an abstract way of referring to the price that he came in with to play for Barcelona, which was sky high. Okay, so
I have a question for Leontes. Yep. Would you take Dembele because he has strong links to Man United?
I'm not very into Ousmane Dembele. I hear his name very often. What's his position? Where will we play him?
I would say he's more of a right mid. So yeah, something like Jadon Sancho, but more on the wide section. He doesn't really go towards the center. He doesn't cut.
He's both-footed, like equally. Yeah. He's the most both-footed, two-footed player I've ever seen, to be honest.
Well, I think the only thing we actually need is a new defense. So, I would put everything, the final line, the final line of defense. That's what we need. Someone who's quick, someone who's fast,
someone who is not Maguire.
Someone who's not Maguire. I think that's something we definitely need. We need pace in the back. The back four need pace. I think that's what also was a problem with Solskjaer. It's just they're too slow, especially if you want Wan-Bissaka and Shaw to be up front as well. Lindelöf and Maguire cannot do it on their own because they are too slow, as we've seen with Liverpool and Manchester City. So we need someone who's quick. So if he's fast, if he can get through to the final line of defense, I think that would be excellent.
Okay, Paul, we can talk about your game against Brentford. We don't have time for the West Ham game today, so let's talk about your game then. So you won 3-0. That sounds like, on paper, sounds like a comfortable win.
It wasn't comfortable. It wasn't comfortable, and I think the first goal was just before half-time. Brentford had chances. was a typical Liverpool performance, really. I think we're expected to win. We dominated. We had lots of attempts, but not the biggest of chances, really. But we had lots of attempts. Brentford sat deep because of the high line. Brentford did have a couple of chances, kind of half chances, but then in the second half, the space opened up. I think in the second half, Curtis Jones played well for Liverpool. I think he's been a good introduction. He's a good footballer. And then Minamino came on.
Yeah, scored on his birthday as well.
Was it his birthday?
Yeah, I heard it somewhere.
Yeah. He missed a big chance against Arsenal, didn't he? He missed a sitter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think so. Yeah, a good victory. The fans are subdued at the moment. The Liverpool fans, you could tell in the stadium. I know it was Brentford, so not the biggest match, but just with the gap that's opened up, we're just waiting for the Champions League now to come back around.
When you say the fans are subdued, you mean like you managed to satisfy them? That's what you mean by that?
No, I mean like they're quiet. They're
okay.
Yeah, they're a bit like okay.
Yeah. They're not
like,
hearing,
come on,
very enthusiastically.
Yeah.
Not singing. You'll never walk alone enough.
And that's the only one we sing at the moment.
Right. Speaking of Brentford, Nrup, a piece of news came out today that Christian Eriksen, the guy that suffered that horrific collapse during the Euros that we all thought was about to die, and then they gave him a CPR and defibrillator was used, and everybody thought his career was over. And today we heard that Brentford offered him a 6-month deal. Can you believe it? And what do you think about it as a future doctor, Nrup? As a future doctor, do you think?
I mean,
do you think he should still play?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what happened with him. I don't know the details, but if they can offer him a contract, that means I think he is ready to play football. And since they gave him 6 months, that means it just shows how far he can go, I guess. Maybe after 6 months, we'll find out whether he is up to Premier League level or not.
But Leontes, this doesn't sound like Brentford's approach to me, because obviously they are the data analysts. They are known for analyzing the players, not having really scouts, but just using data to buy players. So I don't think that's the case here, is it?
It seems like it's
but it could be interesting. It could be, maybe they had some. In Dutch, we have a saying. It's called the kasspekken.
Kasspekken.
The kasspekken, which is kind of when you. I don't know how to explain it in English, but if you have a gap in your finances that needs to be filled, you kind of fill the gap with something. We usually say when our police officers give lots of fines at the end of the year, they need to spec the kas. Maybe that's something they want to do as well. They need something to bring in new money, and that could be an approach. New shirts, new extra tickets, etc. That could be their way to spec the kas.
It's a story. It's absolute. It's a big story, of course. Journalists will, be in seventh heaven after that. Obviously, if it happens. Paul, don't you think he should go back to Tottenham though? That's where he came from.
No, he should go to Brentford. Tottenham has enough
problems.
Yeah. I think there's lots of Danish players there. The manager's Danish at Brentford. There's a few. Is Norgard Danish?
Viking, to me.
Yeah, I think joined the Danish invasion. And he's a good player. Okay, he's had a heart problem, but he's still got that quality. And if he's fit, and it would be a good signing for Brentford. Yeah, they need some quality, I think. Yeah,
it's definitely a big story, and obviously everyone hopes that he will be okay. It's just, I wonder, if it's not too much of a risk. That's why I asked
But
this
then again,
question.
it's not like Chelsea or Arsenal or Manchester United, Liverpool. The stakes aren't that high.
Yeah.
Right. So
join Brentford. And what about Aubameyang? Aubameyang has been sent back to Arsenal.
Same.
Yeah.
So it turns out that he has got some heart problem as well as a result of COVID. As a result of having COVID, and now so he was at the AFCON, but he was sent back to be treated at Arsenal. So
wow.
Yeah.
You said, Leontes, the stakes aren't that high at Brentford, which means there's not so much to play for. Basically, it's not. It's like he can take it easier. Let's say there. Okay. All right. One more thing we need to discuss before I ask you about the villain and hero of the week. We need to discuss Rafael Benitez. Yeah. So first of all, Paul.
He was my hero of the week.
He has been an amazing agent. Yeah. He was an amazing agent for Liverpool. An ex-Liverpool manager who had won the Champions League. You guys.
So yeah, it was
now. This fairy tale of him harming your rival club is over. Yeah. So how do you feel about it?
I think it's been quite funny the way it's finished. I think I feel sad for Benitez. He's had no money. He's had injuries, but yeah. So like the memes are quite funny. So he sold Luka Dean to Steven Gerrard, their best player, has now joined Steven Gerrard. He's left them in 16th position in the Premier League. I think
it was untenable. Yeah.
Possibly, I think just because of the history, similar with Steve Bruce at Newcastle, like the job that they were doing was not the worst job, but it's just a history of playing of managing and playing for affiliated with rival teams.
I think the Everton owner took a big gamble on him, and in the end, it didn't pay off.
No,
And I just want to say something that is quite funny. Nrup, did you know that Everton lost 9 out of their last 10 Premier League games, and the only game they managed to win was against Arsenal.
Yeah.
So
I know.
9 out of the last 10. Wow.
What does it tell you about Arsenal then?
Well, we tend to break others' records. Like you guys need to break records, come to Arsenal. Any droughts, come to Arsenal. We are the clouds.
They did the same with Leeds now, so.
Leontes, would you obviously Ranić is an interim manager, right? He's not gonna stay there. Come on. You have to get a new manager. It looks like the players are not behind him, from what I've heard. So what about Rafa?
Agent Rafa again going to Manchester United.
Would you take Rafa?
No, because again, we need someone who's able to manage, Ronaldo, Pogba, and those names. I don't know whether he's the person to do that.
Ole.
So we need a big name there as well.
Rooney.
Yeah, that's a speculation. Rooney.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah, I'm not sure how
Rooney is doing an excellent job at Derby County. Let's put that. That's true. But then again, we don't want the same as we've seen with Philippe Coutinho, or who took on way too big jobs before he even was ready for those jobs. So that's not something we want.
All right, guys, let's do those villains and heroes of the week quickly, and we can wrap it up. So let's start with the heroes of the week. All right, who wants to go first?
Jack Harrison scored a hat-trick for Leeds. A great performance by Leeds. Rafinha destroyed West Ham.
Mm-hmm.
And Leeds, just a good watch. A good watch. They attack teams. They don't sit back.
I
They
agree.
attack teams. They deserve to win.
And a good match overall, because West Ham also didn't want to give up, and
West Ham are a good team, yeah.
they were the home side. And
Mhm.
just to make a quick point, I think it's because they don't really rotate. David Moyes is very conservative. He has been excellent. So the fans, the West Ham fans, they can't speak badly of him really. But when they lose, when West Ham lose, this is the thing they say. He doesn't really rotate enough. He has got a group of players he trusts. He doesn't want to get opportunities to those that are sitting on the bench waiting for it, which is weird. I don't know. The schedule is just very busy for them. Yeah, they've been playing so many games now, involved in so many competitions, and yet David Moyes sticks with just a bunch of players, the same players. Saying that, Declan Rice, oh my God, he's so good. I know you don't like him so much, Paul, but
no, he's a good player. I was trying to watch the match and see how he was playing. He's important for West Ham. He's a good player.
Absolutely. All right. So, Nrup, who's your hero?
Since the name is already taken, I think I would go for Ben White.
Ben White didn't even play. What are you talking about?
I mean, for the Carabao Cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fine.
If that counts, I mean, it was the hero of the week.
Yeah,
so.
hero of the week, I guess. Yeah, I'll give you Ben White then.
Yeah. So Ben White, just composed, quite good. He saved the game.
Yep. We clinched the draw against Liverpool.
Yep.
And so this week there's a rematch at the Emirates Stadium. I believe it's on Thursday. Yeah. So that will be interesting.
Oh, Liverpool! The Liverpool Arsenal. Yes.
That will be interesting.
Over. The Arsenal fans were singing, "We're going to Wembley" at the end, and it was still nil. But yeah, like the Arsenal fans were good on the night, and it was a big match for Arsenal. And but it's not over. Liverpool could win at the Emirates.
It's not over until the fat lady sings. That's an expression, as far as I know. So, Leontes, who's your hero of the week?
I would say Harry Maguire. Okay, no, not Harry Maguire. I would say David De Gea would definitely be my hero of the week. He saved us literally several times. I think he's in top form this season.
Yeah.
He is.
All right. And my hero of the week is Philippe Coutinho. We've already talked about him. I think that was a brilliant cameo, and I think he deserves.
You used my language from Instagram, Zenek.
See what I did there?
It happens a few times. I like it. Yeah.
I know this word, but because I noticed I already knew this word.
Of course.
I noticed your post, so
yeah, it's fresh in your mind.
Yeah.
It makes my heart sing. Yes.
Great. I'm glad you like it. So now we're gonna do the villain of the week, and Leontes, you cannot say Maguire, okay?
Okay. No, I want to call.
Okay, wait. One second.
The jingle, yeah. Nice. I would say that my villain of the week is Dean Henderson, our second keeper, for, claiming to be some sort of superstar and yelling at Ralf Rangnick in times when we don't need those things. So that's my villain of the week.
Whoa. Tell me more. When did it?
Yeah, so Dean Henderson lashed out at Ralf Rangnick because he wanted more time on the field, more playing time. And I think that's unprofessional in any way. Because, they're working on a new team. He has to do his job. And then, you get this secondary goalkeeper coming out and making these claims. I think that's very unprofessional. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. So to lash out on someone, that means to attack someone. Yeah. To attack. I think verbally in this case, right? I'm probably gonna misspell the name of Henderson. I apologize for that. But yes, it's probably misspelled. I'm sure it is. So he verbally criticized him, publicly criticized him. That's what the phrasal verb to lash out on someone means. Okay, that's fair. Nrup, who is your villain of the week?
I mean, villain of the week is still more like a compliment. He is more of villain of the season, so I would go for Xhaka. It has to be him.
You know what? I notice a pattern in you choosing the heroes and villains of the week. It's always players from Arsenal.
Yeah. It's just no words for him. He loves to be the not protagonist.
And the not protagonist.
Granit Xhaka, yeah? Your villain.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Mine
Oh,
is Lukaku. Yeah, he thinks he's the big I am. His comments the other week about Inter Milan and on the pitch was terrible.
Yeah.
He was terrible, and I don't know. He's okay. You need confidence to be a striker, and he probably backs himself to score in any situation. But he's just not as good as he thinks he is in his head. I think.
it's. You know what? I think it's okay to be a little bit arrogant, to be a little bit, let's say, to think that you are good, to believe in yourself a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, if you don't have a little bit of humility, and if you think you can still get better, and if you don't think, if you think you're I know it might sound like an oxymoron to be arrogant and have a bit of humility, but I think in some weird way it is possible. I feel like this is Ronaldo. Just because he is a little bit arrogant, but throughout his career, he has had this humility to think that he can always be better and kept pushing himself. And that's why he made it so far, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but he's not working hard enough. He's not doing the basics, and some humility would help.
So my villain of the week is Rafa Benitez for winning one of his last 10 matches against Arsenal. choosing Arsenal to Okay. So, all right. Do you guys have anything to add? Sorry for making it long again. There are so many things to discuss.
No, you've done quite
Let's
well.
see what happens this week.
It's 1 hour. What was the result of your poll this week? What was the optimum time for this show?
I'm sorry, I haven't checked the results yet.
Haven't you? Okay.
I will do my homework for next time. All right.
I noticed you did the poll. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, but I wanted to keep these shows shorter, but it's just so much to discuss, and I don't want to leave something out. So, thank you guys for featuring today.
Thank
you
you
for having us.
You've been fantastic guests as always, and that's it. Let's hope there's a good game. Arsenal against Liverpool. All the best to Manchester United to bounce back.
Yeah,
they play Brentford. Is it tomorrow? Is it?
Yeah, no, Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And West Ham on Saturday. Friday. Yeah, Saturday. Yeah, West Ham.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So hope to see you soon, guys. Thanks to everyone else for watching. Please give us a thumbs up, smash that like button, and there's also an outro. That's how we finish this show. All right, guys.
Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye-bye.